Hello,
Hi.
and a very Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
From Mike and I and Top and Tail Productions and our family.
And our tree.
Yeah, it has been quite the year, and we've just been reviewing it and thinking how amazing God's been, really, and what he's been up to. And he's been giving us more and more of a heart for bringing his kingdom through film, through books, through some theatre, but just really trying to work with the brokenhearted and communicate God's kingdom to people all around us.
Yeah, and I think it's been quite the journey over the last few years since we closed down Raymer. We've been exploring lots of new territory, trying out new things, and this year has felt, there's been an awful lot of momentum and new things starting to happen. So it's been quite the year, quite the action-packed year. So we thought we'd fill you in on some of the highlights as to what's been going on. So.
Yeah, I think one of my highlights has been I've been on the Lions entrepreneur course for Christian entrepreneurs in Worcester for 6 weekends, and just really learning from some great business people and about the whole balance of kingdom and business, and growing really in my self-esteem and confidence, and being able to pitch a lot more effectively about what we're up to, and connecting with some more business groups about how we can make a bigger impact for God's kingdom through our creativity.
I guess the other sort of the major thing that's really happened this year is Silver Screen Dreams, which we've probably mentioned before, but this has very much been the year for it. We've had sort of the idea of making films and kingdom films on our heart for the best part of 20 years, really. And we've, as you know, we've sort of made a number of short films, but this has been really the year where we've really stepped into that in a brand new way. And I guess I may have said this story before, but really it came about through, we had a script, we had a story which we really wanted to make, which was about a community that becomes transformed through a love of amateur filmmaking. And the characters in the story, they don't know what they're doing, they're making it up as they go along, but actually it just brings such joy and community spirit that it transforms people's lives. And we felt very clearly God say that this wasn't only a script, but actually it was a template for how we were to do the next phase of ministry and for how we go forward. So we started September last year, 22.
Yeah.
We started meeting, we got together a group of people, mostly through the Message Community Church, but sort of people who connected to sort of Wythenshawe area, a very diverse group of people from all sorts of backgrounds, but who'd had basically never done anything like this before in their lives, and started to work together, train together, get to know each other, build a community, build up our skills, and set on a bit of a filmmaking adventure. And that sort of culminated in us starting to film our first feature film called Silver Screen Dreams in the summer.
And it's just felt as though, a bit like the disciples being 12 ordinary, unschooled men, that God has taken, a handful of Wythenshawe residents and done amazing things through them. And we're unbelievably proud. And we've seen lives transformed. I could talk to you all day about all the lives that have been transformed behind the scenes of this film.
Loving every second of it. Every day I've been feeling motivated and passionate, ready to come in and get what needs to be done. Simply put, I'm just really happy it's something that's come into my life and that I've been able to be a part of.
And it's like, whoa, at this time of life, here I am doing this. And it makes you feel so needed, so part of something, not like a spare part. Suddenly, you're important, you're part of something. And I think that's really important. It's the inclusion.
Yeah, it really has been an extraordinary adventure. We've had over 200 people involved. One point, I think we had about 50 scouts dressed as zombies racing around the park, filming them.
It's had a life of its own, hasn't
It has had a life of its own, and I think it's been one of those things where quite often we've been filming things and thinking, is this actually part of the script, or are we just filming what's actually happening now in real life? It so many times there's been overlaps between what's fiction and what's real. It's been quite extraordinary the way it's come together with, as I say, with people who've had no idea, not done anything like this before, on a minimalistic budget. We just kind of raised a little bit of money to pay a camera person and a sound person. So we had a couple of people who were a couple of professionals involved, but everyone else was doing it voluntarily. And yeah, as I say, we could talk about that all day. But one important thing about it is that we really felt as though this isn't going to be a flash in the pan, just like a one-off project, but actually that we've started something much, much bigger, something that is going to continue. So we're not only calling it Silver Screen Dreams, the film, but we've actually decided to call it
Silver Screen Community Film Studios, and we've made CIC a community interest company just for the film studios.
Because now that we've begun this journey with this group of people, we actually feel as though actually this is something that's going to go on, and we're going to tell other stories, and there's going to be other film projects, and this is something that is going to grow and grow.
We need to get writing.
We're talking of writing, yes,
there's been books.
Quite a lot going on book-wise this year. Well, not actually that much writing, but lots of encouraging things happening. So this time last year we had Angel's Delight on UCB Radio being broadcast, which was fantastic, and that broadcast was then nominated for an award for they're called the Sanford St Martin Awards, which are religion and broadcasting awards. So lots of BBC and Channel 4 type programs up there as well. So it was that was quite a thing to be there. And Angel's Delight is actually still available. UCB have released it on their app, so you can download that and listen to that again this Christmas. And of course, the other thing to tell you about is the sequel, Angel's Surprise, which we recorded at the UCB studios back in February, and that was released throughout the Easter period on UCB2.
Our story begins in heaven. That wondrous place, far, far removed from planet Earth, and yet ever so close.
And hopefully the prequel is going to be written in January. So that's something.
Angels Begin, which is all about creation and Adam and Eve in particular, and how all that came about and why that is important.
I think it's quite a unique voice that you've got, that God's given Mike, in the fact that it's quite comedic and quite fun, and yet there's a lot of theology there as well, and the reason behind the story of Christmas and Easter. Why did Jesus come? Why did all these things happen? And looking quite detailed behind the scenes in a fun, action-packed adventure kind of way. Another few things that we've been doing is running some film academies for teenagers and training them in filmmaking and film acting, which have been great, really investing in young people and their voices and their skills.
Well, the other thing to mention is Tales from the Miracle Book, which is our children's resources, which we filmed a lot of in lockdown. That has been sort of quite a slow take-up over the years. We've been sort of plugging away, but schools haven't got budgets for that sort of thing.
So we've lowered the budget.
Yeah, but we've also decided we're doing a bit of an experiment. We decided for the next 12 months we are going to give away quite a lot of our films and resources for free, so that people can access them without there being a cost involved, because we feel as though we've got these stories, we've told these stories, and we just want them to get out there. We want people to be able to.
And the feedback's been incredible. People have just said, you know, my infant class wanted more and more and more, and they kept playing them all the time. So as well as educational, they're a huge amount of fun too. So we're excited about what they're going to invest in young people too.
Yes, indeed.
So we just wish you a very happy Christmas
Yeah.
and a healthy and peaceful and God-filled New Year.
Thanking you for all your
big thanks.
support and just sort of being there and being behind us.
Championing us.
Yes, it's been fantastic.
God bless.